ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Friday Game Night Pickup Show here on AccessWDUN.com. The usual suspects with you this week: Bo Wilson, Jeff Hart, Seth Chapman, and Caleb Hutchins. Welcome to the show, fellas.
Glad to be back.
I'm glad somebody wanted to talk first.
Well, you do this every show.
But
How are we doing? I'm going to start talking about my sciatica every time you ask me that.
Well, we hear enough about that on a
Well,
daily
you're going to
basis.
hear it on this show now.
Okay.
If you keep asking that, just roll into the show, buddy.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Restart.
Okay.
How you doing, Caleb and Seth? Forget Jeff.
Solid. I'm all right.
Hanging in there, man.
Good. How did you like week 8? Did anybody like it? Because I finished second to Caleb again for the second straight week, and I'm not happy about it.
Well, I'm right there on the bottom. Me and
I was
Jeff.
about to say, I was pretty happy with it. I mean, I was, pretty happy.
I won.
Yeah.
That's what Caleb says. I'm happy with it.
It's like asking
I
the
won.
got, are you happy after you ate the mouse? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, yeah.
Any surprises to you guys week 8? What do you think, Caleb?
Not really a whole lot of surprises, but I think the region playoff races are starting to shape themselves more and more. And I think, especially after this week, I think we might have a couple of teams who can potentially clinch the playoffs this week. After this week, we're going to have a real firm idea of where everybody stands. And I think we're going to get some pretty good finishes in some of these regions.
I would agree with you. I surprised a little bit on Flowery Branch. I was kind of expecting a little more offense than what we've been seeing out of the Falcons of late.
Yeah.
Look, that North Oconee team it's a solid team, and they have, other than Gunnar Stockton, in my opinion, I think they have the second best quarterback in North Georgia area, and that kid's he's only a sophomore. They're 3-0 with him, and that's a real team when he's out there on the field. But it was 14-7.
Wasn't as surprised that Flowery Branch lost that game. I was more surprised as to what type of game it was. And
right.
If you had told me that Flowery Branch was going to lose by 7 to North Oconee, I would have figured we were looking at something much more akin to what we saw last year with that 42-35 shootout. Instead, it was 14-7. I actually thought Flowery Branch's defense played excellent in that game. They just couldn't score, and that's not a problem they've had a whole lot this year outside of Jefferson, and everybody struggles to score against Jefferson.
I think the Flowery Branch offense might be time to be a little concerned that they're just not putting up they're not putting up the yardage, they're not as explosive as they had been the last couple of years, and maybe they have time to work it out. But so you asked about a surprise. That to me was kind of the surprise. Just there wasn't more offense from Flowery Branch.
How about the 3.5+ hour shootout over at the Lynn Cottrell Complex? Chestatee holding on to win that against East Hall 62-50. But, I was headed home from that dreaded West Hall White County finish there that was just brutal.
It just did not go the way we were hoping that would go.
No, I didn't. And so then I'm talking to you on the phone, and I'm like, well, let's check and see if it's still on. And because you were like, it was 42-7 at one point. Chestatee was leading this and this and this. And
28 or something like that. I don't know.
And then it was all of a sudden it was what?
55 to something or other. And I was like, good grief, what happened? And look, I mean, if East Hall had made a few more free throws, I think they might have had a chance to win that game. Look, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that those two football teams outscore what the Chestatee East Hall basketball teams are going to do this year. That was an insane game. That was insane.
That was.
For first round of Lanierland, I thought that was a pretty good ball game.
It was oh my goodness.
Very interesting in that game.
Wow.
And of course Chestatee holding on to win it to keep their region their state playoff hopes alive. And
are we surprised that Chestatee is in the middle of the playoff race?
I am not
Me neither.
surprised that they are in the middle of the race at the way that they opened the season, the way they've been playing. Now, of course, against North Oconee, that wasn't the case, and they were up big against East Hall in this game. But I think Chestatee showed a lot of folks that, perhaps they can stretch the field.
Yeah. They put more
against
on
their defense. So,
they scored more against North Oconee than Flowery Branch did, Flowery Branch and Chestatee are playing. I don't know if it's next week or a couple weeks. And, man, that game suddenly looks kind of interesting.
Well, speaking of that game, let's go ahead and get into the picks because, as we try to take the big games of the weekend and throw those out, we'll go ahead and start with Chestatee at Madison County. And, guys, Chestatee's averaging around 400-plus yards per game. An explosive team that we know putting up 62 points. Right. They're playing Madison County, who is more of a run-based team. I think Madison averaging around 260 yards a game, and most of those are on the ground. So we're going to see a clash of styles in this battle. Chestatee, I think, can win this game because of mainly their offense, but will Madison County have some type of passing package to try to get past that secondary of Chestatee, kind of like East Hall did? I don't think it's going to happen. I will start the picks off with this one this week. I'm going with the War Eagles to beat the Red Devils. Or the Red Raiders, sorry.
Red Raiders, yeah. I agree. I'm going to go with Chestatee also. I think this has another shootout potential because, power-heavy run teams have been able to do a little bit against, any offense right now. I mean, they're still that defense is playing better than it has the last couple of years. But they're going to have to stop people at some point. They can't expect to score 62 points every game.
Yeah.
So, but I think they will score some points, and this is a huge game. Chestatee almost has to win this game to make sure they're still in the region.
They have to win this game
because they still they have Cedar Shoals, they have Branch, and they have Jefferson. So
they have to win this game.
They have to win this game, and I think the confidence of last week. I think they win this game.
I talked on the phone to Sean Conley, the head coach at Chestatee, earlier, and he said, what's going on? He said, you're the only one on this show that I have any connection with because I did play for him when we were both at Flowery Branch. He said, you picked against us every single week, which isn't true. I picked them to beat East Hall last week. But I am picking Chestatee this week to win the ball game.
Stop the presses.
And the reason is that offense is just really darn good. I mean, that's the bottom. You posed the question earlier, Jeff. Am I surprised that Chestatee is in the middle of this playoff race? If you had asked me preseason, would I be surprised that Chestatee would be here right now? I would have told you yes. But if you had asked me that last week or 2 weeks ago, I would have told you no after having watched them play. This is a much improved football team. They are really good on the offensive end. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. Luke Bornhorst, I think, is one of the better quarterbacks in the area right now. He's putting up massive numbers. They average 34 points a game, and it's not like they haven't played some good defenses along the way in there. And I don't think they've scored fewer than 20 points in a game all year. I think they will hit some big plays in this ball game. I don't think their defense will pitch a shutout or anything like that, but I think their defense will get enough stops. They will get enough stops in key situations like they did against North Hall that gave them a chance late in that game to give them a chance late in this game, and I think they'll finish it off.
I agree. I've said it once. I'll say it another couple times. I'm sure I really like this Chestatee team. It's a very different Chestatee team than we've seen in the past. As Caleb said, highly improved, and they've had this get it done attitude about them the whole season. And I'm going War Eagles.
So Chestatee getting the vote from all of us this week, and Coach also told Seth and I that a couple of weeks ago about you, Caleb. We didn't tell you. We didn't want to hurt your feelings, but now the coach has really has said it to you.
And you know what's going to happen?
We can break that out.
If they lose, he's going to get all the blame because he's going to say you picked us and we lost.
Well, listen, that's what he was saying about Bo. But here's the thing: I have been right in every pick involving a Chestatee game this year. I have not been wrong about a Chestatee pick this year.
Listen to him.
And I am taking them to win this ball game.
And you're still 2 games behind me in the standings, but that's okay.
It's true.
It's okay.
It's true.
But you are.
We're working on that.
You are working on that.
Working on that.
You are working on that. No doubt.
You're not going to work on it if you pick the same thing he does every time.
I just got to pick wins, Jeff. That's all I got to do.
Oh, okay. Just pick the win.
Just win, baby.
Just win. Okay.
Next big game on the schedule. Big region implications on it. Cedar Shoals at Flowery Branch, guys. This one again set up for Flowery Branch,
you're picking on 8-4A this week.
Well, it's one of the regions that's really kind of up in the air more than the others, I guess you could say, are bigger games this week inside of it. So Cedar Shoals at Flowery Branch. Caleb, huge game for Flowery Branch. I think another must-win for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's not a must-win from the standpoint that if you lose, you're out of the playoffs, because if they win out down the stretch, Chestatee, East Hall, Madison County, they're still in. They don't play those teams in that order, but that's the teams they would have to beat. But if you lose, that's what you'd have to do, is you would have to win out down the stretch. This is a big game, and Cedar Shoals is a tough team to pick because they are a very athletic team, but there are some games where they just don't have it offensively. Last week, they ran into a buzzsaw with Jefferson. Nobody was surprised at that result. That's what Jefferson's going to do to just about everybody they play. This is a tough ball game. I think it's going to be a defensive, physical game. Flowery Branch has the better quarterback play, though, which I think makes a difference in these type of ball games. And I think Flowery Branch is a little bit more diverse on the offensive side of the ball, which I think is going to pay off for them here, too. I think Flowery Branch wins a close one, defensive battle. This game, I think, will look a lot like the Georgia-Kentucky game on Saturday. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be defensive, but I think Flowery Branch is the better team. I think they win it. Maybe 2 scores, maybe score late in the game to make it a 2-score win.
Here's a couple of things on this. Flowery Branch has scored the fewest points in the region. I mean, that's just
14.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that is crazy. They're averaging 35.7 against everybody else. But same thing for Cedar Shoals. They're averaging 34.5 points a game, but in their 3 losses, they've only scored 46 points.
Mm-hmm.
So both of these teams, you look, if they bring their offensive A game, this could be a great game. I think I'm going to have to go with Branch because I do love the defense. That defense is still playing elite. We just got to get the offense going. And Cedar Shoals played Jefferson tough last week. It was 34-9, and Jefferson suffered some big injuries in that game. So I think the offensive struggles are going to be the difference. And I think Flowery Branch will make some plays, but their defense is that good. I'm going to pick the Falcons based purely on that.
Yeah, the Falcons, they've opened the region with the top 2 teams, period. I mean, Jefferson, North Oconee, they've set themselves apart in that region. The reason I say a must-win game is to stay out of that 4th seed, a potential 4th seed. But, Flowery Branch, I think they'll get things going against Cedar Shoals. They're at home. They're at Falcon Field. David Menard's due. That offense is due for some points. Only averaging, 7 points in the region?
Yeah.
I guess you could say. So I'm going to pick Flowery Branch this week. I hope they don't let me down again.
I'll go Branch as well.
Okay. Branch all the way around, folks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the third and final big game that we've got circled, South Forsyth at Gainesville, another region 6, 7, 8, that, just shake them up because there's a lot of games left to be played in this region. Gainesville still has the top 3 right now in the region standings left, South, North, and Denmark. So Gainesville, guys, Jeff, controls its own destiny and fate of a home playoff game and potentially a region championship.
They do. I mean, I think if you're Gainesville, you win out, you're going to win. You're going to win the region. I mean, they were dangerously close last year. Hopefully, they learned a little bit on how to finish games. I think they've been upgraded in quarterback play. They still got named cheeks. They've got a good defense. This is going to be a fantastic ball game. I mean, South Forsyth right now is really rolling. They've already matched their 2020 win total. Their 5-game win streak that they're on is their longest in 4 years. I mean, they're tough on the road. They're 3-1 on the road. Gainesville's 3-1 at home. I something's got to give here. I'm not really sure what it's going to be. But I kind of feel like you were saying against Flowery Branch. I think the offense is due. I think they're due for another big game. I think this is going to be the game. So I think it's going to be close. It could go down to the final possession, as just about every one of these 6, 7, 8 games seem to do. But I'm going to give the nod to Gainesville. They're playing at home, and I think Backs are right. This could be where he put up some monster number in this game.
Gainesville has had a bye week to get ready for this one, but I am worried about their offense because it was fantastic for most of this season, and the last 2 weeks, even going back to the win over Hillgrove, it is dried up a little bit. I haven't been to their last 2 games in person. I can't say exactly what is causing it, but it is concerning, I think, when that was really what keyed those wins over Flowery Branch and Forsyth Central. This is a tough South Forsyth team to try to get that ship righted against. I'm taking South Forsyth in this one. The War Eagles have surprised me so far this year. They are better than I thought they would be coming into this season. I'm going to take them Friday night.
Well, you saw Gainesville and West Forsyth, or not Gainesville, West Forsyth, Southwest Forsyth into overtime in that 30-24 win. But if you go back and you look at the common opponent, Lambert, it was a 35-13 win. Gainesville struggled against Lambert at Lambert a couple weeks ago. Now, granted, they've gone in to the off week with extra work coming into this game against South Forsyth. They beat them last year down there 28-14, which I thought probably was a better team last season for South, but now under their new head coach, Troy Morris, they are reeling off the wins, sitting at 5-1, only lost to Roswell. They've this was a tough one for me to pick because this one's at City Park, and that's part of the reason why I'm leaning toward Gainesville, and then I come back to the middle on this one just because it's at City Park.
Somebody pushing.
But South Forsyth's fast, South Forsyth's quick. Gainesville, they've got their athletic ability as well, but I'm kind of like Caleb as far as the offense goes. It sputtered a bit, but then caught fire against Lambert, came back to cut it within a one-score game that the defense gave up a long touchdown run to Lambert to lose that one 38-27. I'm stuck here on this one, but I'm going to go with Big Red.
Okay.
I will mirror you on that one, Bo. I think the Elephants will get it done at home, especially since it's at home.
I've probably given up another game to Caleb this year, but gut saying pick Gainesville and this one over at City Park.
I think we all have a chance to pick up a game on Caleb. See, that's how you need to look at it.
Yeah, there you go. We do.
Well, both of you except for Bo need it, so hey.
Okay, here we go. Let's do the rundown.
Did we just get insulted?
We're gonna start.
I mean, I'm just so used to it by now.
Wow,
it just kind of
it's like
it all rolls.
It just
off.
rolled right off his tongue.
Yeah.
He didn't no thought, no conscience involved.
Yeah.
Just threw it right out there.
Here we go. Rundown of the rest of the games.
All right.
Chamblee at East Forsyth. Jeff.
Chamblee.
Franklin County at Commerce. By the way, this game was added to the schedule. So this is a makeup game for that Athens Academy game. So Franklin County at Commerce.
I'll say I'm going to go with Commerce.
I'm taking Commerce also.
You take Commerce?
Yeah, I take Commerce.
I'm going to go with Commerce.
Hey.
What was that noise you made towards the end there?
I don't know. He's trying to hock a loogie into our
Gilmer
mic.
Wow.
at North Hall. I'll go with Gilmer. North Hall, excuse me.
Oh, no. Y'all held me to my pick last week. You're taking that
No,
one.
I'm not. I'm going with North Hall.
I'll go with North Hall.
North Hall.
Yep, me too.
Habersham Central at Lanier.
Oof.
That was a tough one.
This is a tough one. Both teams are struggling. Lanier's picking it up a little bit. They're at home, and I'm going to go with Lanier.
I like the way Habersham Central played last week against Tequila. Got away from him in the second half, but I'm going to take Habersham Central in a little bit of an upset this week.
I'm going to take Hab too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll with Hab because Hab, they had the early lead on Tequila. Thought they played better last week. So Hab Central, I'm going to pick the Raiders. Johnson at Appalachia.
I'll take Appalachia.
I'll take Appalachia.
I think so too. I would love to see Johnson pull this upset. And it would be nice to see them kind of get things going. I mean, it's
who else would love to see Johnson pull this upset is Jackson County because they're off this week, and there's that whole jumble up of teams, including Appalachia, with 1 or 2 region losses. The Panthers would love to see Appalachia take a loss on their off week, but I think Appalachia is the better team. I think they'll win.
Lakeview Academy at Mount Pisgah.
The Lion. Go ahead.
I'm going to go Lakeview.
Okay.
I'm going to go Mount Pisgah.
I'm going to take Mount Pisgah also.
Yeah, I'll take Mount Pisgah too. This is a better team than that Kings Ridge team that Lakeview saw last week, and the Kings Ridge game did not go well.
No, it did not. Lanier Christian Academy at New Creation Christian. LCA lost by a point last week.
I'll take LCA.
I'll take LCA.
I'll go with LCA.
I talked to Al Gainey
Yeah.
when he was in the office earlier this week, and he said Bruce Miller was not real happy in that he was having a talk with the guys there, that they should have scored more. So I have a feeling Bruce Miller's going to whip them into shape. And
Thanks, Al, for that info.
Yeah, I'm taking Lanier Christian.
They lost 15-14. I wouldn't be happy either. Lumpkin County at Cherokee Bluff.
Cherokee Bluff.
Bluff.
Yeah, Lumpkin County's improved, but too much Cherokee Bluff in this one.
I agree.
North Forsyth at Lambert.
I'm going to take the Raiders in this. I think they learned. They didn't have the letdown. So
I'm going to go with the Raiders as well this one.
Raiders.
Best defense in 6-7A right now is in Coal Mountain, and I think they will travel and they'll get this one.
North Oconee at East Hall.
I mean,
I'm going to go with the Titans.
I'm going to go with the Titans. East Hall has shown that they can score, but they got to stop somebody.
I'm going
they
with the
gave
Titans.
up 62 points to Chestatee last week. This North Oconee offense is better than Chestatee. They better bring their lunchbox. If they want to get some stops in this game, I'm taking North Oconee.
Rabun County at Banks County.
I go Rabun.
I'll go Rabun.
Yeah, Rabun County.
Well, that's a tough one. I'll go Rabun.
Okay.
Okay. Shiloh at Buford.
This could be an interesting game.
I'll go Buford.
But I'm going to take Buford.
I'll take Buford as well.
Me as well.
Union County at Elbert County. This is an interesting 8-2A game.
I'm going to go with Union
I like
County.
the momentum that Union County has right now. They're playing well, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to take them to go on the road and get the win in the Granite Bowl.
Yeah, as you said, Caleb, that offense has come alive up in Blairsville. So I'm going to stick with the Panthers on this one. Jeff?
I said Union.
Oh, you did?
It was kind of jumbled
we were just
with
waiting
Caleb.
on you, Jeff.
I'm sorry about that. I tell you what, I do. I also like how the Panthers have kind of improved. But the Granite Bowl is one of the tough places to win. If you haven't won there before, they haven't won there. I'm going to take Elbert County in this.
Okay. West Hall at Dawson County.
Dawson.
I'm going to take Dawson.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dawson as well.
Yeah, I'm going with Dawson County too.
All right, guys, there's our rundown of picks this week. And week number 9, what are you hoping to see, Caleb?
I'm hoping to see some more competitive games. I think that Gainesville-South Forsyth game has a chance to be the best ball game of the weekend.
Agreed.
Can Gainesville's offense get it going against what is a South Forsyth team that is a lot better than we expected them to be at this point in the season?
Jeff?
Look, I'm going to be at that South Forsyth Gainesville game, so I'm hoping it's going to be a great ball game. And what I'd like to see Gainesville kind of step up to where we think they can be and show that they're going to be a real player for a region title in 6-7A. I think that's probably the main thing that I'm looking for. And, the other thing, Commerce. They finally got it working. If they even though they're at home against Franklin County team, a team that they've had success against, they're able to kind of manhandle the Lions. I think that's going to bode well. They still have, they're still going to have to go to play Lincoln County. They got to play Washington Wilkes. I think those three teams are starting to establish themselves. They had a tough game last week with Talons. I think if they can handle the Lions, I think that's going to bode well for them and being able to make a push and see if they can, repeat as region champs.
Yeah, I agree with what you said about Gainesville. Gainesville has that path. They have the offensive ability. I think the biggest key is going to be the player Baxter Wright and the running of Naeem Cheeks. We know Cheeks can go off for yards, but you've watched this team play, all season. You've seen the stats come in, and one week it's all passing, the next week it's all rushing. So they're not afraid to go with what's working in the game. If they can get a good combination going on the offensive side of the ball and defense play like it can, Gainesville's going to win this game. And that's what I'm interested to see if Gainesville can put it together this week after losing to Lambert, having the off week, and now playing a huge game like South Forsyth. Can they put it together this week? And the other thing is, in Region 7 3A, I'm interested to see that West Hall-Dawson outcome, simply because West Hall is getting some key players back.
Right.
Can they beat Dawson and salvage their season as far as playoffs might go?
Right.
If not, Dawson has improved a whole lot this season.
Right.
So it's going to be an interesting game over in Dawsonville.
I think we're going to see a really exciting game between Buford and Shiloh. That game catches my eye. It really does.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's an interesting game as well.
Shiloh's undefeated. I mean, they're unbeaten in the region play. Yeah, but this is a different Buford animal. But I don't know that this Buford team has really kind of put it together yet this year. They've had some tough non-region games.
Oh yeah.
But we haven't really seen them put it all together, I don't think, yet. So, when you talk to Coach App in your coach's corner, where, he said, look, we got a lot of things that we need to work on, a lot of mistakes, just things that we haven't. So it's going to be interesting if the team reverts back to some of those mistakes. Shiloh, they've become one of the improved teams. So that could be interesting.
All right, Caleb, what's coming up on the Tailgate Show tonight?
Going to talk to Sean Conley about that Chestatee-Madison County matchup. Talk to Judd Higginbotham. He's our play-by-play guy on the lake about that Gainesville-South Forsyth game, and get you ready for another full night of football.
Check Caleb at the Tailgate Show, the FGN Tailgate Show, live from Smokehouse Barbecue, coming up just after 6 tonight.
Smokehouse Barbecue.
And if you're coming to Gainesville game, I'm going to be there, and
Me
I
too.
want my barbecue.
You want your barbecue. By the way, the Buford Shiloh game will be on AM 550, and Chestatee at Madison County on 102.9, and then that South Forsyth Gainesville game on 94.5. The Lake. So enjoy, pick your game, and have a great Friday night with high school football action. For Caleb, he's on Twitter at Hutch9473 or 89473.
That's right.
At Hart
There you
JJ22.
go.
I'm at Debo Wilson. And Seth mans our Instagram account, keyword search, Access WDUN Sports. For Seth, Caleb, Jeff, I'm Bo. Enjoy week number 9 of high school football.